Hi and welcome, Scorpio. My name is Elizabeth Bratcher and I'm a psychic medium, and I am here to do a reading for you for the month of July. So thank you very much for taking the time to watch my video today. I do appreciate you stopping by, and I hope that you enjoy your time with me today. So Scorpio, I do go a little bit more in depth with the monthly read, so we'll have a look at business, finance, career, money, all of those kind of little bits and pieces. And I'll have a look at love and relationships also includes family, friends, those kind of things too. And then I'll have a look at what it is that you need to know most for the month of July. Okay, so just remember, including the cross watches, that I am reading for a lot of you, so not everything may resonate. So take what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. When we read for a lot of people, not everything's always going to fit. Okay, so I am reading with my Sun and Moon Tarot as normal, and also my light's sitting a little bit differently today, I noticed, but my deck that's there, doesn't matter what's on the back of them, that's all good. So as usual, I have given the cards a really good shuffle before I've started today, but just while I do give them another shuffle there, I do want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel so far. I think we're up at over 1,200 now, so that's really awesome. And I do the daily reads and the weekly reads on the page. This Friday you'll find me at 8 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, New South Wales, live either on YouTube. If I'm not on YouTube, I will be on Facebook doing free readings in that time as well. Okay, so all right, so let's have a look. So first we're going to have a look, Scorpio, at business, finance, career, all of that kind of energy over there for the course of July, okay? Okay. So for some of you, Scorpio, money is going to be still a mindful matter. I feel like you're sitting either level or not moving forward at the rate that you thought that you would be, okay? Let's have a look and see. Yeah, okay, so there's a lot of energy in that, as far as I want to say there's a lot of contemplation this month. So whether it's, applying in business or work, or even just sort of where you're at financially, I want to say that there is a little bit of contemplation and mindfulness, more so than normal, around you guys, Scorpio, this month. As you're asking, where are you? There's some changes that are there coming along. Your energy for the month is the Three of Wands and the internal conflict. So they're not necessarily bad cards, but a lot of inward projection and contemplation. You're sitting a little bit undecided, and I feel like you kind of carry that energy with you through the month. Not about being undecided or lost or anything else like that, but just in that contemplative kind of mode. Some ideas brewing, perhaps a little bit of unsettling. And as I said, for me, I feel like things are sitting, they're not quite where you anticipated or where you wanted them to be, okay? But I want to say that contemplation and that energy that you're putting into it, for whatever context it does apply to you, Scorpio, it's ending an era out. Like, I feel like you're feeling this coming, you're feeling it brewing, okay? So obviously for some of you that's going to mean work changes. For some of you it's going to mean putting more energy into the business, or having a think about where you're at. Business plan wise, I keep seeing, like, I see spreadsheets in front of me, but they're not on computers. But I mean, I'm someone who does my books by hand, still manually. So I see it in writing that's there, but it's not even necessarily about the books, you know what I mean? But it is about sort of, taking responsibility, putting energy where it is. And I don't want to say there's a lack of responsibility, but sometimes we tend to take a little bit of a backseat. And I feel like that's not just now, that's like over a period of time, and we're starting to see what we need to do to move forward in our own energy financially, okay? And as I said, for whatever capacity that lies to you for, that's what I feel. So July is going to be a very, a month about not necessarily bringing in big changes, but you definitely got the changes card there, and you're being open to embracing that change. So I dare say come August, September, you're going to see a lot more energy brewing up around the money side of things for you guys, Scorpio. Don't make any big decisions around money without really knowing where all the pennies are dropping Make sure that if you're signing contracts or committing to things that you're reading everything that's there, okay? Don't get caught off guard. And don't just take people at their word. And I don't want to say that you need to be mindful of betrayal or anything else like that, but make sure you read everything. Be informed about your financial decisions in whatever capacity they apply to you. Okay, so that's money and finances. That's where I want to sit around money, finances, work, career. Yeah, that's where I want to sit. All right, so Scorpio, I want to have a look now, just love and relationships and that kind of energy that's there. And as I said, keeping in mind it does bear, with, you know, boyfriends, girlfriends, husbands, wives, family, mothers, daughters, da 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 da. Okay, let's have a look. Alright, so your energy for the month is the Seven of Pentacles. Which is nice because you know that sometimes there's hard work in relationships, but you're willing to put in the hard work, and I do feel like you're being consistent. You've actually got the Two of Cups that's there, which is, you know, about joining of two people. So for those of you that are actually waiting for love to come in, it feels like a really positive. You've got the Ten of Cups that's there. You've got the Seven of Swords, it's just like the wish card. You've also got the Star, which is, you know, has its two sides. Definitely, you know, about brightness and things like that, but it definitely represents about balance and you know, not being greedy in relationships and bits and pieces. But I want to kind of slip that one out when we're talking about just this section here, because I feel a really nice positive energy around it. And I want to say, like, it's love coming in. And even with relationships that are already existing and things like that, I feel a really nice energy around it. There's work to be done, but so, like, don't feel like you can sit back and just think that everything's going to fall into place. Yeah, so your energy for the month is about looking at the bigger picture, beyond self, beyond moments. Taking 5 and standing strong and having a lot of self-trust. For some of you, there's going to be a little bit of external conflict around relationships. Okay, and I want to bring the Star back in around with that as well, because I feel like there is a little bit of off balance that's there. It's almost like two people kind of butting heads, and I'm feeling like these are family relationships more. Yeah, I know we can include relationships in that, but I'm feeling family is more of a concern. I feel like the relationships as in partners, it's already kind of an awareness, but I feel like with the family, so for who that's resonating with, is it's almost brewing, okay? You need to stand strong in your energy, but you also need to have that self-trust to make decisions based on the bigger picture. Like, what do you ultimately want out of that relationship? Because push too far, I guess there's a potential there that you can lose it. So just be mindful that that's not where you want to go. And if it is, you know, do it nicely, just for the sake of doing it nicely, I say. Yeah, okay. So I want to recap that. So whether it's love coming in or it's existing love in that partnership relationship that's there's a really nice positive flow, but it is showing that there's hard work attached to it. But any relationship that flourishes, people work harder, okay? So that to me is not like this big, oh, there's hard work to do. It's mindfulness, and it's making a commitment that this relationship matters and treating it accordingly, okay? But as I said, with that family side of things that's there, I feel like you need to make your decision where you stand and think about the bigger picture of the consequences that butting heads can create. I'm feeling a nice flow around friendships as well for you this month, Scorpio. I feel that I don't need to bring too much of a concern, and if that concern is already there, I feel like you're already on the verge of dealing with it, okay? Walking away. It's like it's been a long time coming. Okay, so that is love and relationships for you, Scorpio, this month. Okay, let's just have a look at what you need to know most now, okay? So, yeah, it's funny. I'm going to pull the tarot cards, but I actually just want to try something. Because I have my own spread that I do, and I mean, this is my spread too, but yeah. Let me just have a look. Okay. So your energy for the month. So this just focuses on what you need to know most, okay? So it's not about work, it's not about relationships, it's not about anything in particular. It's about what you need to know most for yourself to take you to where you want to be, or to, what you need to be mindful of, and all of those kind of little bits and pieces, all right? So you've got the Chariot as the energy of the month, all right, which is, a victorious energy that's there. You've also got the Fool card, the Six of Wands, Ten of Wands, and the Ten of Swords as well. So yeah, so as I said, nice balance with friendship, taking a nice leap forward. And as I said, for some of you, that's definitely sitting around that money side of things. Good news coming in, okay, which is, as I said, attached again with the prosperousness of relationships coming in, but also on the monetary side of things. The Ten of Swords, yeah, okay, the ending of a relationship. So for some of you, that is going to, as I said, apply to that, that family energy. And you've also got the Ten of Wands card, carrying a heavy load. So some of you are going to acknowledge that this month with those, as I said, and for me, this is sitting around family. Okay, so for those of you that doesn't resonate with, I don't necessarily feel the need to bring it in around any other relationships. So what I want to say to you, so what you need to know most for the month, okay? So I'm just going to... So the things that you're doing, you understand that it's time to be doing them. It's almost like that little alarm bell that rings inside of you, and it's not an alarm as in danger, danger, it's an alarm. It's time. It's time to clear out the stables. Okay, and so, as I said, there's a lot of renewal energy for you guys this month, Scorpio, okay, but the hard work is kind of through this month, creating that renewal aerial energy. But you've got a support card that sits in between that acknowledgement and the doing, okay? So calling on friends and family, and also just knowing that you are going to be supported through your journey. Yeah, so you've also got the Spirit card that comes out, and when that card pops, I deliberately created that card. It's just a validation that the signs and the energy and the numbers that you're seeing and all of those kind of little bits and pieces are indeed signs from Spirit. Okay, that card is a sign, just a validation, because they want to support you, because it's time to confront some fears as well. And whenever we do make some of the changes or stand up in relationships or shift some energy around, it does confront our fears. But they bring freedom, courage and release when we do. Okay. And as I said, a really nice flow around with relationships this month. You've got the Unity card that sits there, which talks about this really nice connection in love and relationships and trust, okay? So it's nice. Now, you've got the Worry and the Doubt card that's there, but as I always say, when worry and doubt comes along, just take it one step at a time. We've already spoken a little bit about what that energy is going to pertain to for you guys this month. So, it's becoming a regular habit that the picture I see isn't the picture on the card, but I see a pie, and I always just reflect that if I try to eat that huge pie all in one go, I'm going to feel sick, chances I'm going to throw my guts up, and it's just really unmanageable and overwhelming. But if I take that pie and cut it up, I have a piece for breakfast, lunch and dinner, it's going to be a lot more manageable for me, and it's not going to overwhelm me. So, through the month of July, as these little problems and challenges come along, and even like exciting ones, just break down each segment as, don't worry about step 10 when you're just at step 1. Just do step 1 and then step 2, okay? Now, self-care, as I said, for some of you, there's some big changes that are coming around, extra things coming in, even when they're positive. But self-care is really important, because even when there's new things coming in, when we're excited, there's still that adrenaline and that, so for some of us, anxiety and nervousness that rises up, and that releases adrenaline and bits and pieces through our body and all that sort of stuff, and just the general extra fatigue of, being stressed even in a good way. So I just want to implore you guys just to really look at your self-care, around water and food and all of those kind of little things this month. I feel like you're really kind of connecting into yourself, so make this part of it, okay? Truth, honour and awareness. Now, you've got the Change of Luck card that sits there, and as we've already spoken about, that's showing in a couple of places, both in money, relationships, work and career, okay? Knowing that your goals are not impossible, and, keep that in mind as you do work towards that energy, especially with the money and the work and career stuff that's there. I feel like, there's a lot of ownership that's needed through that, and remembering that your goals are not impossible is really going to help you kind of latch onto that, You got the security card, sorry. Always laugh and I forget it anyway. But the security card sits there, and it's showing that you are secure in your choices, and you are secure in where you are at, and where you are at. All right. And you've also got the healing card that sits there. Now, as I said to you, some of you need to look at the bigger picture around relationships and things like that. So make a choice and be patient with the healing, but allow it to come in. forgiveness and making an acknowledgement that this relationship is something you want to work at requires commitment, but it also requires just you being open to allowing that healing to come in. Okay, so it's just a gentle reminder that when we forgive and we choose to move forward, it's not then that person having to make up for what they've done and prove to you over and over again. It has to be just a step forward. Okay, so very much just what you need to know very much in the for the month of July. Okay, you've got Transformation card, which talks about blossoming into true self. And again, that's been sort of reflected a couple of times through the reading there. And you've got the Improvement card around self and situations. All right, so that's a nice energy. And the letting go as well. And as I said, we've spoken about that a couple of times, but it's releasing those binds that they create on us as well, you know. The sense of obligation that shouldn't be there and everything else. Now, you've also got the Completions card. And we've spoken about that. You had the Sunset card there, which talks about the end of an era and all that sort of energy that's there. So for some of you, you know, those completions are going to come quickly in regards of, you know, some family relationships, some choices with work. And, you know, it's a positive. As one door shuts, another one opens, basically, okay? So don't be afraid of letting go. Yeah, okay, thank you. They're giving me, don't be afraid of letting go, because as one door shuts, another one opens. So just a little bit of an underlying message there this month. All right, Scorpio, so that is what I have for you for the month of July. Okay, so I always say take a moment just to have a think about it. I'm very much an energy worker, and so that is what I deal with in the most. And very much a medium too, I guess, when I say that. But look, guys, I do appreciate you taking the time to watch the video. I do very much appreciate either a thumbs up or a comment on the video too. I'd like to know how you guys are liking these videos. We've hit into a couple of months, and I just want to make sure that you guys want all three, or, you know, dailies, weeklies, monthlies, all those kind of little bits and pieces. So if you don't mind leaving a comment even about that, that would be awesome. Other than that, again, Friday, 8 p.m. my time, which is New South Wales, Australian Eastern Standard Time. But thank you very much for joining me again today. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. But otherwise, I look forward to you I was about to say I look forward to you enjoying me next time. But I do hope you're enjoying me, so I do look forward to you enjoying me next time. See you later, guys.